All right. Hey, Flooring Pros. We're going to talk about, I want you to discover the number one strategy that you can use to grow your flooring business. This is the best thing you can do for your business right now, and it doesn't even cost you any money. So if you do this one week, this one thing every week, I guarantee you're going to see growth, good business growth too. So why is it so difficult to get results from your sales team? You've given them instructions on how you want things done. You've done shadowing, you've done training, you got reps coming in doing PK sessions. You've even created documentation. So it's not only the sales team, it's everybody in your organization. You create these processes, and I love it when people do the EO thing where they're creating all that documentation for the business so it's professionally run like a good corporation should and a good business should, like business plans and all this documentation that's supposed to help you get organized and help you drive your business and your culture and all that. And it never works. All that stuff doesn't work. So in this video, you're going to see the number one system for growing your sales, for growing your flooring business. You're going to learn the most effective ways to increase your closing rate, increase your profit margins, attract more customers, create a powerful culture where your team enjoys their job and they're going to go to war for you, improve operations that earn you more five-star reviews. And that system's called the weekly sales meeting or the weekly meeting for the whole company. So why a weekly meeting is important and why these strategies aren't as effective. I hear people, hey, we talk every day. I see everybody, we're always talking about the business. So we see each other every day and we're talking about it. You're not really strategizing and you're not doing things that are that impactful. Most cases, you're just bitching and complaining about something. So they're not real strategies. And if you are trying to implement a strategy, it's not done in a way that's effective enough to have the impact that you're looking for it to have. Daily power meetings. This is something I found some people do that are intense. They want to go over the numbers every single day, and we have a power meeting every single day. I don't think those have quite the impact. If you're doing it too much, people get numb to it. Kind of like if you notice that when people are getting tasks every day, sometimes they get to ignoring them. It doesn't quite have the same impact, a daily power meeting, as a once a week meeting. A monthly meeting. A monthly meeting is not enough. It doesn't give you enough data. It doesn't give you the energy or the drive. And if you're talking to your team once a month, you're not getting the impact that you're looking to get. It's not really holding them accountable the way they need to be held accountable. Now, if you're a one-man band or it's just you and your spouse or just you and one other person, who are you going to meet with? And it seems silly to have a weekly meeting. But I can tell you, you schedule that meeting and have it every week. You have it reliably, and you will see a much greater impact than if it's just the two of you talking every now and then, and you're always strategizing. You feel that way. Again, that's not as effective. Now, if you're just one person, then find somebody in another industry or the same industry that's also a one-man band. You can use their forum for that. Find somebody that you can have a weekly meeting with, and you guys can strategize together on your individual businesses and help each other out, grow the businesses. You could join a mastermind group within your networking group. You can find somebody that you can have a weekly meeting with. It will be impactful. You can get a mentor, a business coach, somebody like that. It will be impactful to your business and the growth. Now, the key benefits of a meeting once a week, as Tina Turner would put it, simply the best. So it's the greatest way to build a strong company culture. It's the greatest way to conduct effective ongoing sales training. It's the best way to improve your operations in your systems. It's the best time to identify problems or bottlenecks in your systems. And this is the key to growing sales and profits month to month and year to year. And they say it's better to work on your business rather than in your business. In this case, you're doing both. You're working on your business and you're working in your business. So I think you get the benefits of both worlds when it's the most powerful thing that you can do, because you are working on the business and you're bringing everybody together to work on the business while you're working in the business. So here's how to have an effective weekly meeting. I recommend that you have the same categories week after week. So it's important to be prepared for the weekly meetings, but you don't always have time. And a lot of times what people do is they cancel their meetings because they don't have any content that they want to talk about. But if you do these 4 or 5 things every week and you find that there's 4 or 5 categories that you need to talk about week after week after week, you don't really need to be that prepared. You can come to the table and just discuss these things. You can review your numbers month to date, year to date. You can do some sales training every week. Talk about the marketing that the company's doing, any problems that you're having that where we can improve operations. And then you rinse and repeat. Let's do the same thing next week, same thing next week, the same thing next week. All right, so let's start with reviewing the numbers, total sales, month to date and year to date. I found this is to be the most powerful thing for growing sales. It's not paying people more money. And the same thing doesn't work is being punitive. If they're making mistakes, taking money away doesn't improve them like we think it does. They're not as controlled by money as they are controlled by the score of the game. So if you're looking at that score of the game week after week, month after month, and you can see how a company is progressing. Here's what we did in 2024. Here's where we're at 2025. Are we improving month to date? Are we improving year to date? Where are we at? At how soon are we going to reach last year's sales? That's very exciting for a company to reach last year's sales. And it's very impactful to see that you're doing better and better and better. And you're making progress for all your hard work. So it motivates people to do more. And then you want to dig in and share the numbers. Now, I urge you to share meaningful data. Don't get in the weeds. And especially if you're starting out, try to keep this as simple as possible. You could use month to date sales and year to date sales. Talk about the current leads you have for the month. How many sold jobs do we have for the month? What's our closing rate looking like? And what's the profit margin? So you don't have to make this really hard on yourself. If you're not using a program like Floors app makes it really easy to pull this up. But if you're not using software, you can even ask your team to identify their numbers. So before they come to the weekly sales meeting, they should write down their numbers from the previous week. It's always best to have these meetings on Monday or Tuesday because they have the greatest impact over the week and gives everybody time to get the data from last week so they can come to the table with the data that is needed. But it's so much easier to have like Floors app and just come to the meeting prepared with the proper data. So you want to share your marketing. I can't tell you how many times this happens. Like Shaw has this promotion, fall flooring sale, save $1,000. And you're going, how the hell do I do that? Where am I supposed to take the $1,000 off of? Not every company has the same process that we teach, which is start off high and give yourself some room for discounts. But how do you make this kind of sale happen? And then you might do other things of marketing. It's very common in small companies that you have an idea, you implement it, but you don't share it with the sales team. So if a customer comes in with that ad or special, maybe it's a finance offer, you don't know what to do. So we had a great offer on showers that worked really well, and they had 3 sales off of this, but all the sales team were going, I don't know how to implement this. You never showed us this. And I said, all right, guys, calm down. Let's, at least the marketing worked. We attracted the customers. So figuring out how to do it, that's easy. But you guys need to take some time and go over your marketing with your team. Problems are opportunities. So you don't want it just to be a bitch session. When the problem comes up, you take care of the problem. Okay, but then you go to your whiteboard, write it on your whiteboard what happened. We got jammed up because we didn't have enough baseboard. So how do we make sure that next time we have enough baseboard, or every time we have? I was working with this company that was a problem. That's why I'm bringing that up. Is they had 2 or 3 jobs, they didn't have enough baseboard, and our process is we know baseboard is about 30% of the job. So we can be prepared, get 35%. If you got 1,000 square feet on the job, you need 350 square feet of baseboard. So you should never be short on something like that. And if that's part of the process and part of the system, then you don't have to rely on what the salesperson said, or the front end of the operation. You don't have to rely on them as much if you have that good process, that good system. And the funny thing is we told their operations team about this, the operations manager, and he said, "Yeah, that's what we used to do in the other business, and it worked really well." And he'd been with the company for about a year. They're going, why didn't you tell us this? That would have been nice information to share. But they just didn't know how to relay information like that. So put it on the whiteboard, come up with your systems to overcome the problems. And I do see all the time, problems do become opportunities. When a customer has a problem with something, shows that you may have a problem in your system that you improve for everybody. Rinse and repeat. This is really important. I love this book, The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. It's an old book too. A guy used to run Success Magazine, and he does talk about the compound effect. So doing the same thing week after week will get you that compound effect that you're looking for. You are going to see exponential improvement. And when you stop doing that, you're going to see it go back. And it's just like a diet. If you're dieting, you don't see results right away, but week after week, and you start feeling better. You're losing weight, you're healthier, you're sleeping better. Everything is better in life. If you stop the diet, you're going to see it progressively getting worse. So same thing with your weekly meeting. If you do a weekly meeting and you implement it, and we teach people that the weekly meeting is important as a doctor's appointment. If it's Monday at 9 a.m., everybody's there Monday, 9 a.m., no excuses. Now, if you're on vacation, that's one thing, but there's no reason why you shouldn't be showing up every Monday morning at 9 a.m. And we dedicate 30 to 40 minutes, have that weekly meeting, and that we don't answer phones. We don't take care of customers coming in. We don't have customers coming in that early. If you have to make your weekly meeting earlier, go ahead and do that. So you want to make sure that your team takes this very important, because I'm telling you, it is the best thing that you're going to do for your business. It doesn't cost you a dime, and you're going to see exponential growth. So for the fastest way to grow your business, click the link below. I'll have it below in the video. Also, like and subscribe to the video. I appreciate that. If you like the video, share it with people. But click this link below and let's get on a phone call, and we'll talk about what it would look like working with me and how we can help you grow your flooring business. All right, guys, time for you to profit now in the flooring industry.